Your constant reality checks bring everyone down, my brother Marcus announced in the family group chat, his admin privileges flashing like a weapon as he removed me with digital finality. We prefer positive vibes only, no more lectures about research or due diligence when we're trying to build wealth. 3 months later, at 2 a.m., my phone exploded with panicked calls from the same family members who'd celebrated my exile. Their guaranteed cryptocurrency platform had frozen their accounts, holding $500,000 hostage. And I was the only one who understood the two-factor authentication recovery protocol they dismissed as paranoid overthinking. The removal had come during Sunday dinner at our parents' house in Scottsdale. I wasn't even there, I was home in Phoenix, watching the drama unfold on my phone screen while my wife Sarah raised an eyebrow at my increasingly grim expression. They actually did it, I said, showing her the notification. Marcus kicked me out of the family chat. The group chat had been our digital gathering place for 5 years, 43 members strong, parents, siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, even my grandmother who'd learned to use WhatsApp just to see pictures of great-grandchildren. But over the past year, it had transformed from family updates into an investment frenzy, led by Marcus and his newfound obsession with cryptocurrency. The platform they'd chosen was called Moonvault Prime. Red flags didn't begin to describe it, it was more like a communist parade. Anonymous founders, promises of 400% returns, a website that looked like it was designed by a teenager in 2003. But when I'd pointed these things out, I'd been labeled as toxic. Danielle thinks we're all idiots, cousin Jennifer had typed after my last warning. Must be nice to work in IT and think everyone else is stupid. I don't think you're stupid, I'd responded. I think you're being scammed. That's when Marcus had called for a vote, all in favor of making this a positive-only investment space. Free from Daniel's negativity? 27 thumbs up, 3 abstentions, 0 support for the paranoid IT security specialist who'd spent 15 years protecting financial institutions from exactly these kinds of scams. Sarah had watched me draft and delete a dozen responses. Finally, she'd put her hand over mine. Let them learn, she'd said. You've warned them. You can't save people who don't want to be saved. But watching from the outside was torture. Sarah still had access. They'd forgotten she was in the group. So I watched through her phone as my family poured their savings into Moonvault Prime. Dad's retirement fund, $150,000. Marcus's kids' college funds, $100,000. Aunt Patricia's divorce settlement, $75,000. Various cousins and uncles, another $175,000. Look at these returns. Marcus would post daily, sharing screenshots of his portfolio growing by thousands. Daniel's paranoia would have cost us so much money. The cheerleading was endless. To the moon. Best decision ever. Positive vibes bringing positive returns. Thank God we got rid of the negativity. I documented everything. Every screenshot. Every promised return. Every red flag they ignored. I even paid for a professional blockchain analysis of Moonvault's wallet addresses. The money was being shuffled through a maze of exchanges. Classic money laundering behavior. But I couldn't share it. I was banned from their positivity bubble. Why do you care so much? Sarah asked one night, finding me at 3 a.m. researching the platform's claimed partnerships, all fake. Naturally. Because they're my family, I said, even if they think I'm toxic. You tried, Dan. You can't protect people from themselves. She was right. But it didn't make watching any easier. Especially when Marcus posted about convincing our 72-year-old grandmother to invest her savings. Even Grandma Rose is on board, $50K invested. I'd called her directly after that, trying one last time. Grandma, please, just put in what you can afford to lose. Oh, Daniel, she'd said, her voice kind but firm. Marcus explained that you're jealous because you missed the opportunity. I know it must be hard, dear, but try to be happy for our success. That was 3 weeks ago. Since then, I'd watched the mania reach new heights. Marcus quit his job to become a full-time crypto investor. Jennifer posted about the new car she'd bought with her gains, which she couldn't actually withdraw yet. But details. Uncle Pete mortgaged his house for more investment capital. Then, at 2:17 a.m. on a Thursday, my phone rang. Unknown number. Daniel? Marcus's voice, but different. Panic had replaced arrogance. How are you calling me? You blocked my number. I'm using Denise's phone. Dan, I need your help. The platform, it's down. I sat up, suddenly wide awake. Define down. The website. It says maintenance mode, withdrawals temporarily suspended, but it's been 6 hours and let me guess, the Telegram support channel is gone? The Twitter account deleted? Silence. Then, how did you know? Because it's a exit scam. Marcus, Exactly like I tried to tell you 3 months ago, but the returns, numbers on a screen. You never actually withdrew anything, did you? More silence. In the background, I could hear other voices, panic, shouting, someone crying. We're all here, Marcus admitted, at mom and dad's, everyone who invested. Dan, we need you. Now I'm not toxic, please. His voice broke. My kids' college funds, dad's retirement, Grandma Rose. I was already getting dressed. Sarah stirred, saw me pulling on jeans. They need you now? She asked. Exit scam just happened. She sighed. Of course you're going. They're still family. 40 minutes later, I walked into my parents' living room in Scottsdale. The scene was chaos. Laptops everywhere, people on phones, my mother crying in the corner. The same group chat that had exiled me was now blown up with variations of help and what do we do and this can't be happening. Daniel, my father looked 10 years older. Thank God. Can you fix this? Fix it? No. Maybe minimize damage? Possibly. I set up my laptop at the dining room table. First, everyone needs to stop clicking things. Don't try to log in. Don't click any emails. Don't respond to any recovery messages. They're probably already deploying phase 2, fishing for any remaining personal information. But there's a message about account recovery, Aunt Patricia started. Fake. Show me. She handed me her phone. Sure enough, a sophisticated phishing email designed to harvest passwords and personal data from desperate investors. Everyone who clicked this link, raise your hands. 12 hands went up. Okay, we need to lock down your identities first, then we'll deal with the money. I spent the next 4 hours in triage mode, freezing credit reports, changing passwords, documenting everything for law enforcement. The family that had banned me for negativity now hung on my every word. How much did you all invest? I finally asked. They looked at each other, nobody wanting to say it out loud. Finally, Marcus pulled up a spreadsheet. $523,000 total, $500,000 of family money, gone. But you can trace it, right? Uncle Pete asked desperately. You do this for a living? I can trace it. That doesn't mean we can recover it. These operations usually run out of Eastern Europe or Southeast Asia. By now, the money's been through multiple exchanges, converted to privacy coins, mixed and tumbled beyond recognition. So it's gone? Grandma Rose's voice was small. I looked at her, this woman who'd lived through the Depression, who'd always been so careful with money, who'd trusted her grandson over her paranoid grandchild. Not necessarily, I said, pulling up my documentation. I've been tracking this platform for months. I know their wallet addresses, their patterns, and they made one mistake. Everyone leaned in. They got greedy. Instead of disappearing immediately, they're running phase 2 scams, account recovery, withdrawal fees, verification payments. They're still actively scamming, which means they're still exposed. What can we do? Dad asked. We work with law enforcement, FBI, Secret Service. This crossed state lines and involves cryptocurrency, which puts it in federal jurisdiction. But more importantly, I turned my laptop around. They're still using the same infrastructure I documented 3 months ago. Marcus looked at the screen, not understanding. What does that mean? It means I have their digital fingerprints. Every website they create, every wallet they use, has signatures. And, I smiled grimly, they're about to launch another scam. New platform, same backend. I've been watching them build it. So we're going to burn it down before they can run it. The next 72 hours were a blur. I coordinated with the FBI's cryptocurrency task force, providing months of documentation. My family, finally understanding the value of paranoid documentation, provided their evidence, every screenshot, every transaction, every promised return. But the real breakthrough came from an unexpected source. Cousin Jennifer, the one who'd called me toxic, had been contacted by someone claiming to be a Moonvault insider offering to recover funds for a fee. Classic recovery scam. But Jennifer did something smart. She played along. Get everything, I told her. Record calls, save messages, trace any information they give you. The scammer got cocky, used personal details they shouldn't have known, details that traced back to a data breach at a legitimate exchange 6 months earlier. That gave law enforcement the thread they needed. It's not the masterminds, the FBI agent explained, but it's their money launderers. And money launderers flip. 2 weeks later, we got word. Arrests in 3 countries, asset freezes on multiple wallets. Not everything, maybe 40% of what was stolen, but something. The family group chat was different now, quieter, humbler. Marcus had added me back with a simple "I'm sorry." No vote, no discussion, just acknowledgement. So, Uncle Pete posted one evening, "What should we actually invest in?" Before anyone could respond with enthusiasm for the next sure thing, Marcus typed, "Maybe we should ask Daniel first." "First rule," I replied, "if someone promises guaranteed returns, run." Second rule, if it seems too good to be true, it is. Third rule, negativity isn't pessimism, it's pattern recognition. "We called you toxic," Jennifer added, "but you were trying to protect us." "You weren't ready to hear it," I said. "Greed makes people deaf." Grandma Rose private messaged me, "I should have listened to you over Marcus. 72 years old and I fell for a snake oil salesman on the internet. Your grandfather would be ashamed." "Grandpa would have done the same if someone promised him returns like that on his hardware store," I replied. Scammers don't discriminate by age or wisdom, they exploit hope. The recovery process was slow. The FBI returned about $200,000 total, distributed proportionally among victims. Not nothing, but not everything. Some family members had to delay retirement, others took second jobs. Marcus's kids would need student loans after all. But something valuable came from the ashes. The family group chat implemented new rules. 1. All investments must be discussed with at least 3 members. 2. Daniel has veto power on anything cryptocurrency related. 3. Positive vibes only is banned, reality checks are mandatory. 4. If it promises more than 10% returns, it gets extra scrutiny. 5. Documentation is not paranoia, it's protection. 6 months later, Marcus posted in the chat, "Hey everyone, I just got an amazing opportunity to invest in quantum NFTs." The responses were immediate. "No, Daniel, don't even think about it. Remember Moonvault." Then Marcus added, "Just kidding. Wanted to make sure you're all still paying attention." "That's not funny," Mom typed. "We lost your father's retirement to that kind of joke." But Dad responded, "It's a little funny, and good to see we've learned." I sat back, watching my family have a healthy skepticism for the first time. They'd paid $500,000 for this education, but at least they'd learned. Sarah looked over my shoulder at the chat. "They're actually listening to you now." "Only cost them everything," I said. But they came back, they admitted they were wrong. That's worth something. She was right. The money was gone, but the family was still here, scarred, poorer, but wiser. And I was no longer the toxic negativity, I was the guardian against their optimism. My phone buzzed. New message in the family chat from Marcus, "By the way, for any future investments, I propose a new rule. If Daniel says it's a scam, it's a scam. All in favor?" 42 thumbs up, 0 opposition. I typed back, "Motion carried, but remember, I can't protect you if you kick me out for being negative." "Never again," Marcus replied. "Negativity saves portfolios." Grandma Rose had the last word, should have listened to the paranoid one. Paranoia is just experience wearing a tinfoil hat. I smiled. $500,000 was an expensive lesson, but maybe, just maybe, it was worth it if it meant my family finally understood that positive vibes don't pay bills, and reality checks, however negative, are the most positive thing someone can offer. The scammers got their money, but we got something more valuable, wisdom, and the understanding that the family pessimist might just be the optimist trying to protect your future from your present.